I have always been fascinated by the horror genre, from mind-bending eldritch monstrosities to deeply personal trauma. Good horror games have a way of making you feel something. And I'm not talking cheap jump scares that startle you for a few seconds. I'm talking about this feeling that something is fundamentally, existentially disturbing on a conceptual level. Some worlds in horror are designed not just to challenge your gaming skills or gore tolerance levels, but to crush your spirit and leave you with the chilling thought that this isn't a place where you win. It's a place where you're unlucky even if you survive. Probably the first game to make me feel this type of dread is Rule of Rose, a now cult classic 2006 horror game for the PS2. There was something just uncanny about it. The orphanage at the center of the story felt like it could have been a safe, almost even cozy place. It wasn't a sprawling haunted castle full of stalkers, or a city full of mutated monsters. It was something much more sinister. Its machinations beyond my understanding. And that made it a lot worse. It felt like the world of Rule of Rose was ruled by cruelty, abuse, torment. At the time, I was too young to really grasp the layers of trauma and allegory the game was playing with. All I knew was that if I tried to imagine myself inside that world, trying to survive in that warped playground of power and punishment, I couldn't help but freak out. Look, we've all been to hostile game worlds before. We've all walked to the decaying Art Deco halls of Rapture, the foggy streets of Silent Hill. But today, we're going somewhere worse. We're going to a world that doesn't even attempt to hide its depravity, whose very creators are instruments of suffering. A hopeless world built on long dead principles and once great aspirations, now abandoned by its very gods. We're going to a world you wouldn't survive, and that is the world of fear and hunger. There's a certain feeling you get the first time you step into the dungeons of fear and hunger. The darkness and claustrophobia, as well as the dangers hidden behind every corner, feel heavy. The game doesn't give you a tutorial or even a friendly face to walk you through its first 10 minutes. Instead, it gives you oppressive silence, broken up by sounds you really wish you couldn't hear. You are alone, you are weak, and the game makes you feel it in your bones from the very start. The game does an excellent job at making you feel scared, intimidated, and pushing you out of your element through its mechanics. But I want to take a step back and talk about the game from a more meta sense. This game could have been called anything. Dungeons of despair, corridors of crying, hallways of monsters looking for dead. But the game is called Fear and Hunger. Fear and hunger. Playing a game behind the comfort of your screen makes it easy to forget that fear and hunger are two of the most primal human experiences. Fear is the knowledge that you are not safe, that something is out there, bigger than you, stronger than you, and it doesn't care about your survival. It's the feeling of being out in the open ocean, endless black water beneath you, knowing there are things moving in the depths that you'll never see until it's too late. In real life, fear sharpens your senses, but it also paralyzes you. It makes you hesitate. And then there's hunger, not the oops, I skipped lunch kind, but the slow, gnawing emptiness that eats away at your mind and body. Hunger makes the world smaller. It reduces every thought to one thing: survival. It strips away dignity, morality, even humanity. People in history have done monstrous things, not out of malice, not out of spite, but out of a single-minded thought: I need to eat. So when you put them together, fear and hunger, that tells you more about this world than any lore book. You are walking into a world where every step could easily be your last. Resources are scarce, and even your own body, your own mind, could very well betray you. These feelings of despair are further accented by one of the game's central mechanics, the coin flip. Picture this: you are attacked by a monster, a nothing moment in any other RPG. But in Fear and Hunger, this attack can trigger a coin toss. If you win, you dodge the attack. Awesome. But if you lose, the monster could snap your legs off, beat you inches away from death, and use you to fulfill its sick urges. It doesn't scheme, it doesn't gloat, you're not even sure it can think. By the time it's done, you're not a hero, not a brave knight or a hardened mercenary. You're meat, chewed up and spit out by a world that doesn't care about you. In combat with monsters, ghouls, and eldritch abominations, a degree of brutality is to be expected, right? But in the world of Fear and Hunger, even the most simple of interactions are a gamble. And unfortunately, the house always wins. Look at this bed. So cozy looking, so safe. Let's sleep and save our game, shall we? Just a tiny wink to recharge for the horrors ahead. I'll sleep with one eye open. Surely nothing bad can happen, right? You'll quickly come to understand that this world is not fair. Senseless brutality is the norm here. Winning a fight doesn't make you stronger, but it sure can leave you missing an arm, a leg, or potions you'll need later on. There are no experience points. Killing an enemy is often a waste of resources. Not to mention, you have to manage hunger and mind, 2 meters that are constantly ticking down, forcing you to scavenge for scraps, going into dark rooms you may never leave. Ignore hunger and you waste away, slowly getting weaker and weaker. But the mind meter is even worse. Witnessing the horrors of the dungeon, the grotesque monsters, the ritual sacrifice, the cannibalistic festivals, chips away at your sanity. Let it drop too low and you'll develop a fear of everything, which means you'll be taking 50% more damage and dodge 50% less attacks from nearly every enemy in the game. The world of Fear and Hunger, through its unyielding terror, pushes you into weighing options you'd normally never even consider. Will you sacrifice this innocent child for a weapon that might help you survive a little bit longer? Or will you try to recover your lost limbs, healing back from the brink by forever conjoining with another person in a grotesque marriage of flesh, potentially losing your sense of self, succumbing to a fate even worse than death? Playing the game makes you feel like the dungeon doesn't just want you dead, it wants to break you, the player. Then you play some more and you realize the truth is far more terrifying. No one wants you dead. No one wants to break you because you don't matter and the world doesn't care. If you die, that is likely the byproduct of a creature you were unlucky enough to encounter. You might still be thinking that the world of Fear and Hunger is easy to survive. Just don't go into the dungeon. Dungeon, scary. Outside, not scary. Easy, right? Little do you know, it's not all sunshine and roses on the outside either. The world of Fear and Hunger is run by old gods and new gods. The old gods are cosmic beings. So great, so powerful, and so ancient, they come from a time before time. To most of them, humans are not even a speck of a grain of sand in the universe. The old gods aren't personal deities in the sense we usually think of them. The way I understand it, they don't really choose who they grant help or mercy. They're more like embodiments of fundamental forces that move the world. They don't treat humanity like their children. We are more like moss that grows on their doorstep, if even that. You've got Grogoroth, who represents pure destruction, without bias or malice. He destroys kings, beggars, farmers, and warriors alike. Everything falls equally before him. In this way, he could be considered a just arbiter of destruction. His justice isn't moral, but absolute. Nothing escapes it. Then there's Sylvian, the goddess of love, intimacy, and fertility. She created humanity in her likeness. She fell in love with them, but she realized humans could never return her love with the same devotion. Her vast, godlike desire couldn't be matched by mortal hearts. From her perspective, love takes on a more twisted form, a so-called holy unison of two or three souls, a beautiful marriage of flesh, the destruction of oneself in the name of love, molding with another to become something else. Now, these are just two examples out of many. The new gods are a lot more knowable and certainly more tragic. After the old gods left mankind, the world started slowly rotting away. In this time of great peril, a fellowship of 5 people was formed. This fellowship sought Mahabr, a place where it is said man could meet his maker, and a hub for multiple different planes of existence. Halt! Before we continue their story, I really want to talk to you about Mahabr. Even though it's a place where man could meet his maker, it doesn't feel like a sanctuary. It doesn't even feel like a place meant for humans. The layout is disorientating. Doors and corridors twist endlessly. Some paths may lead you to places your mind can't even begin to comprehend the purpose of. And Mahabr isn't empty. Horrible things roam its streets and buildings. Some mechanical, clanking and attacking under some unknown directive. Others organic. At least, I think. I don't know, man. What is that? Oh god, what is it doing? Stop that! Even the sun here feels different. It's pale, cold, like it shines only out of obligation. Just walking through Mahabr gives you the feeling that you've trespassed somewhere forbidden. Someplace that shouldn't exist. Someplace that is only here because the powers that be make it so. The dungeons will make you feel fear and dread because of the monsters, claustrophobia, darkness, and general depravity that goes on down there. The horror in Mahabr is very different. It's ominous. It's way beyond anything we've had to deal with so far. And I can't quite explain it, but even walking around in daylight never feels safe. You just can't help but feel that something isn't right. Perhaps coming here was a mistake. Okay, sorry for the tangent. I just had to talk about Mahabr. It's one of the most visually stunning areas I've ever seen in a horror game. Anyways, back to our story. Eventually, the Fellowship would reach and confront the old gods. It seemed like they had bested all the challenges the old gods laid before them. But at the most crucial moment, a seed of doubt was planted into the mind of the 5th one. The old gods chose to reveal to him the greater scheme of things, and the way they directed the flow of mankind. Many people before had gone through these same trials as the Fellowship, transcending into godhood. Yet nothing had changed for the better for mankind as aeons went by. In time, the now ascended Fellowship would gradually lose their influence over the common folk, to the point where tales of the Fellowship are currently classified as nothing but legend. Yup, that's right. Every new god was once a regular person who clawed their way to a kind of godhood. Their ascension is a sick joke. It's a system designed to keep humanity stuck in an endless cycle of misery. Once the reign of a new god has seen its end, the god resides forevermore in the Grand Hall to let the new ones reign for their time. Their principles which pushed them to seek the old gods, their ambition to better the world of humans, the greatness they aspired to, their fight to earn the right of self-governance for mankind, all a lie. The world of fear and hunger is one where the influence of almighty, indifferent gods is the strongest. The world is unsympathetic, and humanity is lost to its own pathetic, selfish nature. Survival feels pointless because what it takes to survive could very well strip you of your humanity. You're not a hero in this world. You will never be. If anything, you're more of a rat in a maze, and the ones who built this maze have already forgotten you exist. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, you would not survive fear and hunger. Not the outside world, not Mahabr, and certainly not the dungeons. Makes our world seem a little better in comparison, right? Just a little. Thanks for watching. If you found this guided tour through hell interesting, consider subscribing. I would appreciate it a lot. Let me know what you thought of this style of video and if there are any other game worlds you would like me to cover. I'm always looking for these beautifully miserable experiences that just have a way of gripping you, you know? With that being said, I'll let you all go now. Thanks again if you made it this far, and I'll see you next time. Peace.